friends, how are you? I hope you are well. Today in this video I am going to discuss some of the important properties like size of the atom, valence electrons, valency, metallic character, chemical reactivity and oxide nature. How it vary in a group from top to bottom. So before starting, I would like to say that don't forget to like or dislike, comment on my video. At the same time, don't forget to share this video to your friends. As a result, they can also get the benefit. So without delay, I am coming to the topic. So first property I am writing about the valence electrons. In a group, valence electrons remain same. In a group, valence electron remains same. How? Let us see. For example, group 1 element, I am writing lithium, sodium, potassium. Its electronic configuration is, this is the electronic configuration I have written. That means those elements are present in the first group, means the alkali metals all having the valence electron 1. Their outermost orbit contains only 1 electron. Here I have not mentioned hydrogen. The fact is that hydrogen is a non-metal. Here I have written examples of metals. And another thing is that the position of a hydrogen still not decided even in modern periodic table also. That's why I have taken the examples of alkali metals, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium. These are the elements present in group 1. For example, if you take the group 2 elements, that means beryllium, magnesium, calcium. Beryllium also contains 2 electrons in the outermost orbit. Magnesium also 2 electrons. Calcium also 2 electrons in the outermost orbit. That means those are present in the second group. All contains 2 electrons in their outermost orbit. That means all valence electrons are same. Now let us see one more group, that is the halogen groups. For example, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Fluorine, I can write that 2, 7. This is 2, 8, 7. This is 2, 8, 18, 7. 2, 8, 18, 18, 7. See that all contains 7 electrons in their outermost orbit. That means those elements are present in 17th group or halogen family. All contains valence electrons 7. If I go to the zero group elements like neon, argon, all contains 8 electrons in their outermost orbit. That means all having valence electrons 8, except helium, which contains only 2 electrons in the outermost orbit, because its maximum electron number is 2. So we found that whenever we move from top to bottom in a group, number of valence electrons remain same. The elements of group 1, I said group 1 elements. Group 1 elements. Their valence is valence electron. Valence electron 1. Valence also 1. Those are group 2. Their valence electron 2. Valence also 2. They are divalent molecule. These are the these are the monovalent, these are the bivalent. Its valence is 1, here the valence is 2. Okay, so this is about the valence electrons or outermost orbit electron. Next point is the valency. So see here, already you have studied that the combining capacity of an atom of an element is its valency. So in a group valency remains same. Valency depends upon the valence electrons. For example, you see that if this is the group 1 elements, its valency will be 1. Its valence electron 1, valency also 1. If it is the group 2, its valency will be 2. Valence electron 2, valency also 2. If it is the group 13, its valence will be 3, because its valence electrons 3, valence also 3. If it is the group 14, its valence will be 4. Group 15, valence will be 3. Group 16, its valence will be 2. Group 17, its valence will be 1. Group 18, its valence will become 0. Here I have mentioned the valency of representative elements. I have not discussed about the transition elements or D block elements, which is not in 10th class syllabus. So I have given the example of group 1, group 2, group 13. Group 14, Group 15, Group 16, Group 17, Group 18. But in a particular group, valency remains same. It may be 1, it may be 2, it may be 3, it may be 4, whatever it may be. But the valency remains same in a group whenever we move from top to bottom in the vertical columns or in the group. So next important point is the size of atoms, or I can say atomic radius. Size of atom, or I can say atomic size, or we can mention it as radius. You know that the distance from the center of the nucleus to the outermost orbit is called the atomic radius. In practice, we find the atomic radius from its bond length, which one I have already discussed in my previous video. So here I am saying how the atomic size or atomic radius vary in a group from top to bottom. Let us see. So in a group, atomic radius decreases. Atomic radius increases from top to bottom. How you see that? I am taking the example of a group 1 elements. For example, lithium, sodium, magnesium, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. If I write their atomic radius in picometer, 1 picometer is equal to 10 to the power minus 12 meter. The size of the atom is very small, that's why we use the unit picometer. Lithium in picometer it becomes 152. Here sodium 186, potassium 231, rubidium 244, cesium 262, francium 270. That means the atomic radius from top to bottom, it is increasing. Suppose lithium is looking this one, this like this, like this, like this. Okay, like this size are increasing. That means among these elements, lithium is the smallest one, whereas the francium is the highest one. For your reference, I have mentioned the atomic size in picometer. Let us see one more example, that is about the halogens, means the elements of a 17th. So group number 17. For example, fluorine is there. Its atomic radius will be 64. Chlorine 99. Bromine 114. Iodine 133 curves. So this is the atomic radius in picometer. That means it is increasing from fluorine to iodine. Here 64, here 133. But the thing is that why it is increasing from top to bottom? The thing is that whenever we are moving from top to bottom in a group, number of orbits increased by 1. Number of orbits increased by 1. For example, lithium 2, 1. Only 2 orbits are there. Okay, if I go to the sodium 281, that means it contains 3 orbits. 2, 8, 1. Here 2, 1. So whenever we move from top to bottom in a group, number of cells increased by 1. As a result, the distance between the nucleus and outermost orbit increases. So I can say that size increases. So in a group, atomic radius increases from top to bottom. This is about the atomic size or atomic radius. Next point about the metallic character. See here. So next point is the metallic character. It increases from top to bottom. How it increases from top to bottom, you see that. For example, the lithium contains 3 electrons, retain 2, 1. Sodium retain 2, 8, 1. Potassium retain 2, 8, 8, 1. Metallic character, I can use electropositive nature. Electropositive nature. In place of metallic character, we can say the electropositive nature, because metals can easily lose the electrons and they can become electropositive. If I move from top to bottom, number of orbits are increased by 1. As a result, the distance between nucleus and this is the nucleus, this is the orbit. The distance between the nucleus and orbit increases. So if it increases, the attraction between the nucleus and the outermost orbit electron decreases. So easily they can lose the electron, they can become electropositive. So electropositive character increases from top to bottom. Electropositive character increases from top to bottom. Electropositive character increases from top to bottom. How? Because the distance between the nucleus and the outermost orbit electron increases. As a result, it will be easy for the atom to lose the electron and become electropositive. Now you see the elements of a 17th group. Elements of a 17th group. Suppose we are taking about the fluorine. We are taking about the chlorine. So 2, 7, 2, 8, 7. Or if I want add one more, suppose 2, 8, 18, 7. Here the elements of a 17th group means halogens. They are electronegative. They need one more electron in the orbit to become stable. Previously I said that alkali metals, lithium, sodium, potassium, they can easily lose the electron and become electropositive. But these elements becomes electronegative. So in this case, electronegative character decreases. See that. Same thing, different way. Negative character decreases from top to bottom. Electronegative character decreases because the distance between nucleus and the outermost orbit electron increases. So it is difficult for the nucleus to attract the incoming electron because distance increases. So I can say that electronegative character decreases, or I can say that non-metallic character decreases. Means non-metallic character decreases, but metallic character increases from top to bottom. So this is about the metallic character. Let us discuss about the chemical reactivity. See, chemical reactivity. So for metals, it increases from top to bottom. For metals, it increases from top to bottom. How you see that? For example, I gave lithium, sodium, potassium. Here 2,1, 281, 2,881. You see that whenever we are moving from top to bottom, it can easily lose the electron. That means it can easily combine with others. It can easily become electropositive. It can give the electron and can make the bond. Okay, so I said that for metals it increases from top to bottom. The fact is that whenever we are moving top to bottom, the distance between the nucleus and the outermost orbit increasing. As a result, it can easily lose the electrons. That means electropositive character increases means its chemical reactivity also increases. But for non-metals, it decreases from top to bottom. You see the fluorine 2, 7, chlorine 2, 8, 7, or bromine 2, 8, 18, 7. All contain 7 electrons in the outermost orbit, no doubt. But the fact is that the distance between the nucleus and the outermost orbit is increasing. As a result, its tendency to accept the electron, incoming electron, decreasing. Since its tendency to achieve electronegativity decreases, so I can say that its reactivity decreases from top to bottom in a group. This is about the chemical reactivity. Next one is the nature of oxides. Nature of oxides. Here, the left side, those elements are there. Metals are basic oxides, whereas non-metals are acidic oxides. But the oxide nature remains same in a group. In a group, oxide nature remains same. So, children, one important point I forgot to say, but now I can say it, that is related with a valence electron. How can we decide? How can we decide a group number from valence electrons? From valence electrons, how can we decide a group number? Listen carefully. If valence electron up to 2 represents group number. If more than 2, then 10 will be added with valence electron. How? You see. Suppose group 1 element, or you can say here valence electron. It is better to write like this: valence electron 1. Then group will be 1. Valence electron 2. Group will be 2. Valence electron will be 3. Group will be 3 plus 10, which is 13. If the valence electron is 4, then it is 4 plus 10, it is 14. If it is the 5, then 5 plus 10, this is 15. 6 plus 10, this is 16. Sorry, yes, correct. 7, if the valence electron 7, that means I am telling about the halogens, group number 13. So, group number 17 halogens. 7 plus 10, it represents 17. If it is the 8, suppose 8 valence electron, 8 plus 10, that means it represents group number 18. So, from valence electrons, we can find the group number. If it valence electron 1 or 2, that represents group number. If it is more than 2, 3 or more than that, we can add the number 10. The fact is that we are discussing about the representative elements. Those are present in first, second, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Not about the D block elements or transition elements. So these are the important properties. Today in this video I discussed how it varies in a group. In previous video I explained how the properties vary in a period. So in my next video I shall explain about the merits and demerits of the modern periodic table. Until then, bye.